Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you the Gerber Suspension NXT. Hey everybody, welcome back. Now I know everyone is looking for a decent multi-tool for their bug out gear, their prepper gear, whatever. They're handy just as an everyday carry item too. And I ran across this and I wanted to bring it to you guys and give you a look at it. This is their new version of the suspension, and you can spend a fortune on multi-tools. I have seen some for upwards of $200 and $300. Some of the Swiss Army type stuff. Gosh, I forget who makes them. But regardless, some of their Swiss Army knives, what you'd think, the big thick ones, they're like $500-$600. And some of these multi-tools are in the $200 range. So I like to bring you more affordable options that are quality, and this seems to be one of them. Now, as I said, this seems to be an upgrade from the Gerber suspension. We'll get to that later. I'll tell you why I'm telling you that. It's super affordable, but it's up to Gerber quality standards as well. So don't let the low price scare you off or fool you. As to the suspension, the original one, I spent a good 5 years opening ammo cans, pulling out staples from boxes, cutting open huge crates with that old Gerber suspension tool when I worked at an ammo shop, selling ammo at a gun shop. And we sold the ammo out at Front Sight for a while. We had that little ammo bunker out there, the gun shop that I worked at. And we got in pallets of stuff. And I would rip out staples from the boxes with them. I beat the heck out of that thing, just in normal use, And it was still in good shape the day that place closed and moved away. So Gerber does make quality tools. Now, while still up to the challenge of everyday carry and survival use and camping, this is a bit of a slimmer design than that one. And it's kind of a focused tool pack that's ideal for the EDC user. The tool is much lighter than the previous Gerber suspension, and you can tell by the cutouts and everything there. I'll give you a quick look at the tools in a second. So we'll get into the tools on it. There is a big gap. This is something that I found really, really nice. It's going to be kind of hard to display this because I want to show you the tools. But there is a big gap here. So when you're using this as a plier, you're not going to get that pinch point. And that is really nice. Some of the more expensive Gerber tools, they're very flush right on each other. And when you close that up, you'll get that pinch there sometimes if you're not paying attention. Now, this also has all outboard tools. Now, what does that mean? That means that when we close this back up, all the tools, I'm trying not to cut myself, are on the outside. So you don't have to open this up every time you need a tool. Everything's on the outside. And it is a little stiff because this is new. So that's a very convenient thing. I mean, if you just need to cut open a box, do you want to have to open this thing up, pull out the knife, close it back up, and use the knife, and then put it all back together again? That's why I like having them on the outside there. Now, let's get into the tools that are on the suspension NXT. Let me show you over here. First, you have a Phillips flathead screwdriver with a bit of a file. It seems to be a rather effective file, too. I just cut my fingernails. Now, figures I do that. I just cut my fingernails down because they were really nasty on the end. But I tried it beforehand, and it does seem to file pretty well. It's actually a decent file on there. You have a small ruler on one side with inches and centimeters on it. And of course your screwdriver. You have it all. That's awesome for, working holes in leather or working with wood, stuff like that. You do have a Phillips screwdriver. And I kind of like the fact that the screwdrivers are just two heads. These are the most common screws you're going to run into with a tool like this. And that's why I say this is good for EDC as well as a bug out bag. It is nice to have all the options with all the star bits and all the other bits to come with these things, but that means you have to carry something else, all those bits in a kit or something. This can be clipped in your pocket. Now, quick note about the tools here. They do snap lock open. See that little lock? So you have to push them back and close it up. So that is handy when you're using sharp objects because they won't fold down back on your hand while you're using them. Now, the knife. Not the biggest knife in the world, but again, you're not carrying this as a pocket knife. You're carrying this as an EDC tool while at work, maybe cutting open boxes like I did or stuff like that. It does have a little bit of a serration. I kind of wish they'd just given me a blade, but it's all stainless steel. So you got that. You fold that in. It's stiff, so I'm being real careful. Now over here, you have another smaller, kind of thicker flathead screwdriver and a bottle opener. This one here is a can opener. So for those of you that carry those little can openers from the military, this is a little can opener. This is a sharp edge here. So you can rock this open and open a can. You have a little screwdriver here, again a smaller one. And I guess that could serve as a bottle opener as well. Let's put that down here. I forgot to mention there's a wire stripper on here as well. So when you want to cut off that little edge of the wire when you're rocking around it, you can do that with that. And you have a pair of scissors. Now I'm going to get a piece of paper. I'll just edit here and I'll get a piece of paper. And I want to try and see how decent these scissors are. They feel really good, but I want to see how well they work. All right, let's see. Yeah, they're actually cutting. They're cutting pretty well too. Now, I mean, this is the kind of thing I'd use to maybe cut off a piece of twine off your clothing, or maybe cut a piece of jute twine if you're trying to start a fire with a small piece. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be some kind of great, super tight item, you know, that's going to cut a ton of paper or plastic or something. But it seems to work pretty well. So that's impressive. So let's get into the main point of this tool, the real reason you have it, and that's the needle nose pliers here. All right, they are spring-loaded, so it kind of cuts down on hand fatigue. You don't have to keep opening them up every time you do that. They just automatically open. And as I showed you before, there are no pinch points in there. You know, my hands usually don't get caught in there, but sometimes if that and that are really close, and you're working on something really tight, and you get a nasty little pinch and a blood blister there the next day. They do not have replaceable wire cutters. But for as frequently as I use wire cutters on multi-tools, I'm not too concerned about that. But they don't have replaceable ones, and you know, you're not going to get that on something that's affordable. On the higher end tools, you'll get that. You're not really going to see that on something that's super affordable in quality like this. You know, they have to cut corners somewhere, so hey, I'd rather they do that than make the blade loose or cheap materials. It does have a very nice pocket clip. It is a deep pocket clip, deep pocket carry, so it will carry nicely and deeply in your pocket. Very strong clip. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. Now the only con, all right, if you could call it that, on this tool is that these tools tend to fall out when you're using them. And if you're banging it like that closed, they will fall out. I haven't had the knife fall out on me yet. But you know, if you're doing that, and then you're doing something aggressive with it, and you come back, you could get stung. But generally, if you keep this area against your palm, the knife part, you won't have that problem. And let's face it, how many times do you really use pliers like this? Not very often. Normally, you've got a very controlled grip on something, and you're twisting it open. So, price on them. You can get them at Walmart for around $32. So I'm going to tell you to get them at Amazon, at Walmart. I'm sorry. You get them at Walmart for $27. Amazon has them a little bit higher, but I believe they're $27.20, if I remember right. But I will leave a link to Amazon. I'm not sure if Amazon probably will have a sale on them if you want to put them in your wish list. Definitely a quality item. It feels like quality. You know, there's just a difference. If you've ever tried the, Walmart had the $4 knives, and then they had the $4 multi-tool. And it's kind of similar in design to this with the skeletonized body. But the difference in the feel of quality in your hand is night and day. Yeah, that cheap tool will work. We've tried it on the channel. I reviewed it years ago. But this is far, far better. And for under $30, you're getting a decent tool. Really can't beat it. So that's really it for the Gerber suspension NXT. I believe the NXT stands for Next. It's been out for a while. I just kind of discovered it, and I'm pretty pleased with it. We are going to be carrying this around. We're going to make this part of my everyday carry, and see how it holds up, and I'll let you know if I run into any problems. That's generally what I do with items. If it breaks on me, if something's really, really wrong with it, I'll come back and do a video. But if you don't see a video from me for a while, generally it's a good item. So I'm pretty pleased with it, and that is your video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will put a link down below to Amazon where you can pick these up in my store. Don't forget to check out my store down below if you'd like to support the channel. Just click the link and shop as you normally would, or check out some of the gear in our store. That really helps us out. Don't forget to check out the Olight link below. Olight has a lot of cool, innovative flashlights. It's pretty much all I'm carrying now, so gotta say it's an awesome, awesome light, and a really good company that stands by their product. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link down below if you're interested in getting started in some freeze-dried food. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.